Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to the Cool Kids Lunch Table podcast with PJ and Mike. Now, please find yourself a seat at their table.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Cool Kids Lunch Table podcast with PJ and Mike. I'm PJ.
And I'm Mike.
And today, Mike has no idea what we're going to talk about. So,
I'm going in blind.
We're going in blind. So, over the course of the last 29 episodes, you've surprised me with pop quizzes that I didn't know were coming. You've tricked me into liking a U2 song. So today, I get my revenge by making you go into an episode having no idea what we're going to be talking about.
Yes, that's a good recap too of the past 29 episodes. Yeah.
So that's where we're at. So today we're going to talk about something called HYPERthetical. And so to explain what a hyperthetical is, there is an author. His name is Chuck Klosterman. If you're not familiar with Chuck Klosterman, he's actually a very good author. He's written some books. He wrote a book called The 90s, which is an analysis of the of pop culture in the 90s. That's a very good book. He wrote a book called Sex, Drugs, and Cocoa Puffs, which is a series of comical essays that he wrote, again about pop culture. He's written. You can see why I'm a fan, right? Because it's all the stuff we talk about. He wrote a book called Fargo Rock City, which is a bit of a memoir, and basically he talks about what it was like being a metalhead, and I think North Dakota, like a Midwestern state where heavy metal music isn't necessarily the most popular.
Right.
He's written some books about just challenging people's beliefs and stuff. He wrote a book about the deaths, how musicians and celebrities and stuff die, not necessarily about the books, but the cultural impact it has and things like that. So it's a lot of stuff that we kind of talk about on the show, which is why I'm a fan of his works as an author. He also put out something called HYPERthetical.
Oh, okay.
So what HYPERtheticals are is there's essentially hypothetical situations. He calls it 50 questions for insane conversations. It's supposed to be like a conversation starter.
Right, I see.
Right. So basically the way this is going to work, and I don't know how I fit like a childhood memory into this. I really don't. I'm sure we spoke about hypothetical.
Oh, of course. I think that's something we do as kids. Like, what would you rather do? Like, eat dog crap or like
exactly
out of the toilet bowl.
Right.
What I mean?
Exactly. I think we definitely did stuff like that. So I guess that's the childhood memory. But that's what this is. This is a series of oddball questions. And I'm going to ask you some of these questions that I have prepared here from this hypotheticals. We're going to see what you would do in these scenarios. And to play fair, I will also chime in with what I would do in the scenario.
Okay.
And we are going to be putting this episode out. Probably is going to be what, the 19th, probably. So
right.
as we know, but if we're on the 19th of October, we are getting awfully close to your big day.
Yes. Yeah.
So
my wedding day. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wedding day. So I have picked out to start. It's a scenario called Vampire Weekend.
Okay.
And I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to get your take. All right. It's the evening before your wedding. Everything is going as planned, and you're spending the afternoon with some old friends, chatting casually about old times. But suddenly, your spouse-to-be bursts into the room, and she's hysterical. And she insists that she's just seen a vampire.
Right.
So when you ask her what she means by seeing a vampire, she says she was looking out the window of the hotel room, and she can see into the apartment building across the street, and she sees a vampire, and she saw a man in a black cape bite a woman's neck and drink her blood. And she goes, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm certain it was real. Now, your perspective and sober spouse is in a complete state of panic. So she's freaking out.
Right.
But she hasn't been drinking. She's not on any drugs, completely sober, but she's just pleading with you to believe her story. Okay? Now, here we are. It's the day before your wedding. She's hysterical. And you're in a room with all your friends.
Right.
Do you tell your spouse or your potential spouse that you completely believe that she saw a vampire across the street drink some random person's blood while all of your friends are watching this crazy conversation?
Oh wow. I think I would just say yeah. I think I would believe her. I think I would believe her. I would just have. It'd be very difficult. First of all, Amanda would say, "That's my fiance." She would say the first thing I'm not gonna be able to keep a straight face. You know what I mean? Because she always says, I can't say anything to her without you laughing, or sometimes I don't even say anything and I start laughing out of nowhere. She's like, "What are you thinking about?" So I think in that moment, I would either crack a joke, and be like, "Oh, have him come to the wedding, have him over." You know what I mean? I think more of my, I'm trying to think of, how my friends would react. I think, I don't know.
You know how I'd react to this.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't even be able to look at me without cracking up.
I know. Oh yeah. I mean, I would probably be laughing through this. Amanda would probably be crying, because I know her. And I think that'd be really tough, man. That'd be really tough though. But I think no matter what, I think I would just probably start losing it. I would just start laughing. I'd be like, no, I really believe you. I get it. I'll get it. I'll investigate. Mm-hmm.
I'll investigate. Now you're going across the street like you're Buffy the Vampire Slayer, trying to hunt down a vampire the night before your wedding. If it was me, and Jen said this to me, I mean, right. I would assume that she fell asleep watching Supernatural again. Right. It's like, no, it was probably just I don't think I could agree at that moment that there is a vampire across the street. I would probably be like, I think you fell asleep watching like Supernatural, and it's probably just a dream. Right. You can't possibly be that crazy.
Right. So. Well, what's funny you say about dreams? Amanda has the most. Maybe our folks who are listening, Amanda has the most vivid dreams I've ever heard. You know what I mean? She can remember. They're like episodes. She can tell me this whole narrative. There's like a whole beginning, middle, and end. For me, when they're not as vivid. Maybe I don't know. Maybe because I'm getting older, but they're fragmented. I can only remember one part of it.
Right.
The other day, actually, I told the only recent dream I can remember recently was I just finished watching Breaking Bad. Right. And have you seen it, PJ? Or
I've seen some of it. I never really got into it. I know the
okay. Plot. So anyway, in my dream, when I was leaving work, and then I got stopped by Hank. Right, he's like the police officer in the show. Right. He stops me, and he finds that I'm bringing home like client like files. I'm not really supposed to, but I was like, so I'm like, no, I'm gonna finish my paperwork at home. And he's like, can't do it, man. And he's like, he's telling me I'm gonna get fired. I'm like, what is this? I remember in the dream, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna get married soon. I'm not gonna have a job. And he calls Mike, basically like a hitman in the show. And I meet him. He's like, now, Mike, what you did, that wasn't a good idea, Mike. And I'm just like, anyway, I'm freaking out. But Amanda's the one who has the most vivid dreams, bro. I mean, like, she gets up like those memes where they get up. You say when your wife has a nightmare of you cheating on her, right, and she gets mad at you. She does that to me. I'm like, I even know what I did wrong. I'm like, this is a dream. This is make believe. This didn't happen. So I think her saying, I think I'd rather take the vampire thing because I can't stand these dreams that she has. They're just so damn vivid,
That's funny. All right, let's give you another one. You ready for number 2?
I'm ready. I'm down.
This is a good one. Because I can't wait to hear what you're going to say.
Right.
You are in a plane crash on the Andes Mountains.
Oh, God.
Kind of like the one from the movie Alive.
Right.
And so now you crash, and you're going to be forced to consume human flesh of the people who died on impact. It's the only food that you're going to have.
Right.
But it's going to be a terrible experience, but it's the only way you're going to survive.
Right.
The good news for you is you don't know any of the victims, so you're eating strangers.
Oh, perfect.
You're not eating a friend. You're not eating a family member. But you have to make a decision.
Uh-oh.
Would you rather eat a dead baby or would you rather eat a dead elderly person?
Oh my
And
God.
would gender play a role in the selection process? And how much would it bother you if it turns out that the meat's delicious and you love eating humans?
Wow. Well, the first part was right. Either a baby or an old person, elderly person. Okay. Oh man. I mean,
I know my choice on this one.
right. I feel like, I'm trying to keep it real here. I mean, the baby probably like fresh meat, fresh cut meat. And then elderly, I mean, might be mainly just skin and bones, but
me personally, I'm 100% picking the baby.
Right.
There's going to be some good marbleization in the fat content on a baby.
Right.
I mean, you're not getting as much meat unless it's a pretty big baby, I guess. But I can't imagine eating the old people. It just sounds gross and dry. I don't know.
Yeah.
So are you picking a baby or an old person?
That's right. I don't know, man. That's really rough. Oh. Part of me, the baby sounds tempting. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds tasty, But I feel like an old person, I feel like for some reason this is gonna sound sick. I feel like even though their skin might be like dry, almost like for some reason I'm thinking about like old fried chicken that you leave in your refrigerator for a long time.
Right.
But I feel like their meat's gonna be like, even though it's gonna be like very cut, it's like gonna be like very thin steak. So it actually might like a like a very nice thin steak. It might be very good,
So does gender play a role?
Oh.
Are you more likely to eat?
I'm going to eat a woman. I'm going to eat a woman or a female baby. One of those. I feel it's going to have more, like, I don't know, nutrients or flavor. I can't picture eating it. I feel like we don't have, like, like we're just all like just, muscle. I feel like, we might have more of the like the natural, like, lipids and things like that.
And now, does it bother you if you decide that the human meat is delicious? Does that bother you or no? Are you happy that you think it's delicious, or are you freaked out that you think it's delicious?
I think we got to play the American Psycho sign, but like I'm a pretty sick guy. I guess in that moment I might just be like, hey, if it tastes good, that's great. Would I be repulsed by myself? I'm repulsed by myself to begin with, just in general. My sick thoughts. And
Funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. This one's a little more risque.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Eating a child or
yeah, more than eating a child.
Choosing between one or the other. Yeah. Okay. More risque. Okay.
So you're walking down the street.
Mm-hmm.
You encounter a boulevard filled with homeless people, human waste, and dried blood. Okay?
Right.
There are 50 people just lying in the street, men, women, teenagers, just homeless people.
Right. All ages. Right, got it.
All ages aplenty across the street.
Right.
It's the middle of the summer. So they're gross, they're hot, they're stinky, they're sweaty. None of them have been able to bathe because they're homeless. There are a few that are drug addicts and straight up crackheads, just bad shape. Right. They're all intoxicated. Mm-hmm. Most of them have like some sort of very apparent mental issue.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they're all very hungry and very desperate. Okay?
Right.
Now here's where it gets tricky. Suddenly, the universe grants you an incredible capability. The universe bestows upon you a choice.
Right.
If you have unprotected intercourse with any one of these individuals right there on the sidewalk in public, you will end worldwide homelessness forever. Within 5 years, there will never be a homeless person ever again. And everyone will know that it's because of you. Your selflessness ended the homeless problem in America, in the world, not just America, the world.
Right. Okay. Right. And how many people have to have just one person, or is this everybody?
Just gotta pick one.
Okay. Oh yeah, I would definitely do it.
Wow. Because now if you elected not to do it, you don't get held accountable, and no one has to know that you didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
You're not going to get shamed into not ending homelessness.
Right,
So
right,
if you
right.
do it, you'll get. If you do, you probably get divorced, but you
Right.
end homelessness forever.
Be it for a greater cause, man. You know what I mean?
So you would do it? You would just end homelessness?
I think I would, man. I try to be unselfish, and I think Amanda would understand. I think she, we're both, we like to help people for a living, so I think she would understand.
I'm a
But I
fairly
think for me,
nice
it's
guy.
like, so what'd you say?
I'm a fairly nice guy. There would
Right.
be homeless people forever.
Right.
I'm not getting any disease these people have.
Right. Well, I'm not getting them pregnant. I'm just trying to.
You don't know.
Right. Well, okay. Right.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Right. Okay.
Next thing you know, a little crack baby running around.
Right. Yeah.
Now you got to deal with that.
I'll try to judge it. I'll be like, okay, they don't look too healthy.
Oh man. All right. Let's see.
I just picture myself in New York City, in Times Square, where those steps are, those red steps, where TRL used to be. I just picture myself doing that, and there's some guy dressed up as Sonic and Mario, slap me 5 as yes, help us.
Okay, let's see here. Let's pick another one and see what we get. I don't know what this one is. I didn't look at this one.
Oh, okay.
Titled Joey Six-Pack.
Joey Six-Pack. Got it.
All right. Let's see. So I have no idea what this is going to say.
Got it.
You are placed in the unenviable position of having to compete for the right to stay alive.
Right.
You're going to be matched against a person of your own gender in a series of 5 events.
Okay.
All right.
I like
an 800-meter run.
Okay.
A game of Scrabble. A 3-round boxing match. A debate over the legalization of late-term abortion. Scored and officiated by reputable collegiate judges. And then the math portion of the SAT.
Wow. Okay.
In order to survive, you need to win 3 of these events.
Right.
And keep in mind, your opponent is also playing for their life also.
Right, I gotcha.
But you kind of get to pick your opponent.
Right, okay.
You can compete against a person selected at random.
Right.
Compete against someone who is exactly like you. If selected at random, the individual could be any age or skill level. So you might get an infant with Down syndrome.
Right.
Person, or you could get an academic All-American linebacker from Notre Dame.
Right, gotcha.
And if you pick the average human, they're precisely your age and have an identical level of education, and the person will be a perfect cross-section of your particular demographic, average height and weight, with a standard IQ, with normative life experiences imaginable.
Right.
So who are you selecting, and who do you feel that you are better? Do you feel that you're better than an average version of yourself? You pick the who are you picking?
Oh, the rando. Okay.
The rando, right.
I don't think I would do very well with the rando. For some reason, I feel like I'm gonna end up with some kind of all-star athlete or something like that, or some kind of pro boxer. So I'll probably go against almost like a mirror match. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think I feel like I know my own strengths and weaknesses. I think I would try to go against someone like me. Okay.
See, I think I would pick
rando.
Yeah, because here's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to break it down into thirds, right?
Right.
I feel like there's really 3 options. I'm going to pick somebody who's better than me in these categories.
Right.
I'm going to pick someone who's worse than me in these categories, or I'm picking someone who's the same as me in the category, right?
Right.
So I figure if those are the 3 basic categories I get, that gives me a 33 1/3% chance of which category I'm going to get. So one of those, if it's someone who's roughly the same skill set as me, I'm on par with the other choice anyway. But then I'm also giving myself a 33 1/3% chance to get the Down syndrome baby.
Right.
So I think my odds are better mathematically choosing the rando.
Right. Yeah. I think that's a strong argument, man. I don't know. I think for me, I think I just know myself so well. You know what I mean? And if I had this is for the death. You know what I mean? You know, I feel like for me, if I'm weighing my odds, I'm like, okay, I know my own strengths. You know what I mean? I know if someone's gonna be like me. You know, I think I could counter them. You know what I mean?
All right. The logic is there. I get it. Because then you know what you're getting into. You
Right.
know
And
what
you
you're
said
there for.
right. And you said you have to take 3 out of those 5 events,
3
right?
out of those 5. Yeah. 3 out of the
Okay. What were the events again? What is
So,
it? I got to see the ones. I know the ones. There's a running one.
so here's where we're at. We're on an 800-meter run.
Right.
I'm never winning. It doesn't matter who I get. The Down syndrome baby is still beating me at the 800-meter run.
Right.
We know this. I'm not winning that one. There's a game of Scrabble in which I think I have a pretty good chance.
Right. Scrabble.
A 3-round boxing match. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm,
No, but you can get a lucky shot. You can know. You can. Right.
Anyone can get a lucky shot. Only
Yep.
take one punch.
Yep.
A debate over the legalization of late-term abortion. It doesn't say what side you have to take on the debate.
Right. Okay.
So, I mean, I think I can come up with something.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then there's the math portion of the SAT, which I'm not passing. I'm not winning that one.
Mm-hmm. So I know I'm probably not going to do math. I'm going to cross that out. I have it written down. I'm not going to do math.
I'm not gonna win that one.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to, like you said, Scrabble for sure. I think I have a chance of. I'll take that one. I think I might win that. Oh man.
I'm not gonna win the run. There's no way anyone my size is beating anyone.
Right. I'm thinking, but for the run, I'm not, even though like I can run long distance, I can't go. I'm not good at sprinting. You know what I mean? So
800 meters. I don't know how long 800 meters.
I
I feel like that's got to be a sprint.
Yeah. Even that, I don't think I could. I don't know. So I might have to. I feel like I might be able to somehow get a lucky shot in boxing. Do my my best I can to hang in there, and I feel like I could at least debate. If I could debate someone, I could win that debate. I feel like I gotta use my wit.
Because the running and the math, I'm out. There's no way.
Math, no way. Math, I cannot do. No way. Not enough to beat someone else. No way.
There wasn't enough resource room in the universe to get me through a math test. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just not good. I'm not. I got almost on our SATs. I got. I'm not ashamed to say this.
Right.
I got an 860.
Oh, I got an 850, bro.
All right. So we're there. Right there. Right there. I got a near perfect score on the English part.
Wow. Okay.
Near perfect, which means I got 60 points on the math.
Right.
That's how bad I am at math.
Yep.
So
I'm not too far behind, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. The math's not our thing. We're not going to win that challenge.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I ain't winning the run, so I have no choice but to fight in a boxing match for my life and try and win at Scrabble.
Yeah. It kind of reminds you of you ever see the Hunger Games? Not the Hunger. I never read the book. I meant to say I don't like the Hunger Games. The movie, the first. I only saw the first one. I thought the first. I know this is this kind of episode, but I thought the first half hour of that film was great, and then I hated it.
I couldn't get into it. I found it boring.
Yes. Yeah, the beginning was great. The first 20, 25 minutes.
You get all into it, and you're expecting this is going to be crazy, and then it just tanks. Fizzles.
Yeah. It became any other,
Yeah.
movie. But you ever see Squid Game? That's what I wanted.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious. Is there are any of those events you think you can last? I know some of them are team events. Was there any ones that you can what do you think not the hide and seek, what is it called? Red light, green light? What about that one? The first one.
I don't know. Maybe.
You think you can last in that one? I feel like I could last. I think I actually could. That one I think I'd actually kind of do.
But I'm just not good at the competition stuff.
Right. What about the one you have to eat the cookie out? You gotta get it out perfectly.
Yeah, I might be able to handle that one.
Right.
anything that has a physical element to it.
Right.
I'm not built for it. Built for it. I don't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Mm-hmm. Okay. So PJ, I guess hyper is these are quick fire.
Yes.
Right. So it's said okay. I like it. Mm-hmm.
It's just quick fire. It's supposed to be conversation starters. This is a fun one. This is a quick one.
Do it.
Your best friend is taking a nap on the floor in your living room.
Right.
And now, again, the universe presents to you a bizarre existential problem.
Right.
Your friend is going to die unless you kick them
Right.
while they're sleeping as hard as you can in the rib cage.
Right.
So if you don't kick them in the rib cage, they're never going to wake up. They're just dead.
Right.
But here's where it gets tricky. If you do it to save their life and you kick them in the ribs, you can't tell them why you kicked them in the ribs. If you ever tell your friend, I kicked you in the ribs, they die anyway.
Wow.
They
Okay.
can never know. So what excuse would you tell your friend as to why you kick them in the ribs when they ask?
I don't know. I'll probably just something like, like just like you're like that face you make while you're sleeping. It's just like, I just felt like kicking you right in the. You just feel like a, like
just felt like doing it.
I just felt like doing it. It was an open shot. I had to take it. It's like Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the chances you don't take. So I had to take that shot. Mm-hmm.
I read this one, right, and here's why I asked this one. This is why I pulled this one out when I saw it. Because I said the same thing. I would just say I felt like doing it. I couldn't not do it.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because we're guys. Maybe it would be different. I don't know.
Right.
There's a good chance where if I saw a friend sleeping on the floor.
Right.
That I might kick them anyway.
Yeah.
For that reason that I thought it would be funny.
Right.
I remember years ago, I was at a party. It was like a house party.
Right.
And it was in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were all kind of crammed into a bunch of different rooms. A friend of ours at the time had a bed and breakfast that his family owned.
Right.
So we would go there in the summer and like spend the weekend or whatever, right? And a bunch of us would crash in all the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that at that time in the middle of the night, I mean, I was drunk, but I woke up and for no reason just punched my sleeping friend. For no reason.
Right.
Thought it would be funny. And he woke up. He's like, well, you just punched me. And I laughed and went back to sleep. So all of these things, right, some of these other cards have had like these really like, I don't know I don't know what I would do in this situation. But this one seems like an easy one, right? Doesn't this one seem decidedly easy? Because you might do that anyway.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. All of these had like these tough choices, and on this one, I'm like, I would just tell my friend I felt like doing it, and my friend would be like, "All right, that tracks. Yeah, that tracks."
Mm-hmm. I remember like a couple of years ago, I went to my friend's bachelor party. We like rented like an Airbnb upstate, and I was with Rossi, and him and I were basically like roommates. We got stuck sleeping in the living room, and I guess our anxiety got the best of us because we were like. We're kind of like in the middle of the woods kind of thing, and like we have no protection, we have no, guns, we got no bats.
Right.
So he starts going like it was like a movie. Like first it's like, I'm like, all right, good night, bro, and like, all right, good night, Mike, and then all of a sudden it's like, you still awake? I'm like, I am, And then we have like life to life. Then we have like a life talk, and then he's like, I'm feeling like I feel like we can get attacked here, So like, dude, we end up trying to find weapons to protect ourselves just in case something happens, So Brian he just starts walking around. All of a sudden he just picks up an empty wine bottle and he's practicing like wielding it if someone was coming. He's like, and I forgot. I think I was looking for like a knife in the kitchen, But yeah, it kind of reminded me like in Pulp Fiction when like Bruce Willis is looking for like a weapon, to take out the guys and everything, Zed and all that stuff. So I kind of felt the same way, but. Good one.
Let's see. We're just under 30 minutes. I'll ask maybe one or two more. We'll go through.
Yep.
I think these are pretty funny though. This one's called the dress code.
Right.
So and this is actually pretty appropriate for the both of us because we both have jobs where we work in an office. So you work in an office and you're performing a job that you find satisfying and it compensates you adequately.
Mm-hmm.
The company that employs you is suddenly purchased by an eccentric millionaire who plans to immediately raise each person's salary by 5% and extend an extra week of vacation to all full-time employees. However, the owner intends to enforce a somewhat radical dress code. Every day, men have to wear tuxedos with tails and a top hat And during the summer months, male employees will be allowed to wear a gray 3-piece suit on casual Fridays. And women must exclusively wear formal wear, preferably ball gowns and prom dresses. But you'll be given an annual $1,500 stipend to purchase necessary garments. But the money can only be spent on work-related clothing, and the new regime starts in 3 months. Would you continue to work there, or would you seek employment in a different company?
Do they? I have to pick out my own outfits, right? My own tuxedos and all that kind of stuff. I gotta do
pick
that.
out your own tuxedos, your own thing. You have to go to like, I guess, Men's Warehouse and start buying tuxes because you got to wear a tux every day.
Right. Part of me, I'm not gonna lie, especially if they're gonna pay for some of those, basically, those uniforms. I think I would do it, man.
You think you would do it?
I don't know. I think just for the spectacle of it, just seeing my coworkers and in dresses and me walking around with a tail, like I feel like I'm playing piano or something like that. I think I might. I say that now. I don't know, but part of me was almost intrigued. If I liked working there, you know what I mean. If there was things that benefit, but.
So I can assure you that I would find a new job because I wouldn't want to wear that. So in our job, not anymore because now we're mostly remote and kind of hybrid, but mostly remote. But we used to go to the office every day, and we had I don't know if you call it a program or whatever, but it was to raise money for charities, right?
Right.
You could pay $5 to wear shorts. So it was a business casual environment, but if you paid $5, you could wear shorts instead of having to wear dress pants.
Yep.
And I went through so much money because I did not want to wear pants, so I would just keep paying $5 to wear shorts.
Right.
I can assure you, I had to go to the office today for the first time in a while, and I was like, there's no way I can put on anything with a button. I can't do it. So I wound up going in like track pants and a Motorhead t-shirt. Like I couldn't bring myself to wear anything other than like non-work attire clothes. I've been conditioned through the pandemic and all this from home to be comfortable. There is zero chance I could go and be uncomfortable every day. Yeah.
You just remind me when I was I went to Nassau Community College. I remember my professor, his name was Professor Cohen. I had him for it's called public speaking basically. Right. He was very funny guy. He actually used to have like really bad OCD. He used to tell us stories about him like having panic attacks on he was like a germaphobe too, like going on subways. Oh my God, they were so hysterical. But he used to work at Briarcliff, and I think now Briarcliff is now gone.
Yeah, I went to Briarcliff.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So it was a business school. So I think back in the day you had to wear business attire.
Yep.
Right. And he said at one point the college they wanted more enrollment, and they did a survey. They asked people, and then one of the reasons why they had low kids were saying, I really can't afford, business attire, and or I'm embarrassed, I don't want to wear the same outfit every day, kind of thing. So they lifted it. But here's the thing: I just thought which is interesting. He said once they lifted the dress code, they noticed an increase in I'll say vandalism, like people there was drawing on the desk, there's more paper on the floor, so it's interesting how that is. But anyway, just reminded me of that. But if we had ball gowns and all that and top hats like Dumb and Dumber, I'd be definitely down for that. Mm-hmm.
So when I went to Briarcliff, I was more of an art student than a business student. I went for web design. And when I went for web and graphic design, but when you went for that, they made you take fine art classes also. So I had to take like figure drawing, I had to do photography, all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So I wasn't really in all the business classes. So the people that I went to class with were artsy folk. You know what I mean? And artsy folk don't have it. I shouldn't say all artsy people, but a lot of people that are very, very into the arts aren't necessarily a business casual type of person because it's too not unique, it's not expressive enough in their own way. And if you're like a person who's big into art, you're usually trying to express yourself in different ways.
Yeah.
And it's almost like putting that person in a box.
Yes.
Have them wear, a business casual attire. So yeah, I know that the business people there did have to wear business casual, the students, everyone, and they did change it. But I think part of that is they expanded into being more than a business school, and you can't put an artsy person necessarily in a tuxedo.
Yep.
every day. It just because they won't feel expressive enough.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Makes sense.
Let's see. We're at like 35 minutes. Maybe we'll do one more.
One more, PJ. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's see if we can get a good one. Hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna just pick a random one and hope for the best. Let's see. All right. This one's called the Dream VCR.
Oh, okay.
All right. We like to talk about movies and stuff. This might be an appropriate one to end on. So it says, at long last, someone invents the Dream VCR. This machine allows you to tape an entire, oh, look at this, an entire evening's worth of your own dreams. We were talking about this. And then you can watch it at your leisure. However, the Dream VCR will only allow you to use this device if you agree to a strange caveat. When you watch your dreams, you must do so with your family and closest friends. They get to watch your dreams along with you. And if you don't agree to this, you can't use the VCR. Would you still do it? Absolutely the fuck not.
No, I can, man.
Not even.
Here, I'm like, oh, man, some of those old school wet dreams and everything. I'm like, oh, boy, here we go.
No, we won't be doing that.
Fire up that VCR.
Absolutely not. That VCR, whoop, nope. Going right back into the storage with the other VCRs.
Yeah, damn.
Not gonna happen. I know I'm thinking, like, that doesn't sound like a terrible thing. And then, nope. That was an easy one. We might do one more then, because that one was just so easy. Let's see. Oh, this is called Kicking the Clydesdale.
Okay.
It says, let's assume a fully grown, completely healthy Clydesdale horse has his hooves shackled to the ground while his head is held in place with a thick rope.
Right.
He's conscious and standing upright, but he's completely immobile.
Right.
So now let's assume that for some reason, every political prisoner on Earth, as cited by Amnesty International, will be released from captivity if you can kick the horse to death in fewer than 20 minutes. And you're allowed to wear steel toe boots. Would you attempt to do this to free these political prisoners?
I think I would. That poor horse. You know, I just think of the Budweiser horses. You know, I just feel like just going like wailing it, man. You know?
You're gonna kick the horse to free the political prisoners?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's one of those crazy things. You know, like how'd you free this person? I kicked the horse to death. I don't know.
So for me, because I dislike so many humans,
right,
and I love all the animals, there is my immediate reaction to this question is that I have to find a way to free this horse. I can't horse tied up, let alone kick it with a steel toe boot to save some political prisoner that I've never met. They're rotting in prison for the rest of their life. I'm saving the horse.
Right. Yeah, I know. Of course, you know, it's my sick mind right now. Isn't it funny how like your impulsive thoughts or your intrusive thoughts kind of just take over? That curiosity just kind of takes, you know.
I would take the steel toe boots and I would find the person who tied up the horse
and kick them.
And I would then tie them up and kick them to death with the steel toe boot before I would kick that poor horse.
Right.
And all those people would stay in prison for the rest of their lives. And yeah, man, I'm a bad person because I'm not saving the political prisoners and I didn't end homelessness.
Right.
I ate a baby.
Yeah. Man, we're a couple of great guys here.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I am not a good human, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, these were hypertheticals.
I enjoy it. It can remind me. This book came out in the 90s, you said?
This came out, I think.
Oh, you said 2010. You said 2010.
Yeah, I think early 2000s. That's when this one was copyrighted, so it might have been before then. Because I'm sure it's not a first printing, so it's probably 2000s, I'm guessing.
Right. Because there's some of these questions I could feel like, you know, these are like ones you would see like on a Cards Against Humanity, you know, but they turned up a notch. So this is like, this guy kind of paved the way maybe for those games.
But I thought this was so when I saw it what this was, right, and I came across it, I said, well, I mean, a podcast is all about just talking. Yeah. So you know what I mean? So I'm like, well, this makes sense. This is be a whole talking episode of like just different stuff that we don't normally talk about. So I got to tell you, I laughed a lot. So
Yeah, and what I like about it is how old this guy really took his time thinking about these sscenarios. That's what I like, you know.
Yeah, this guy created all of these scenarios. He had to write, and there's a lot. Like, look at the stack of these.
Yeah.
This guy did like put in some work.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of like wonder what's up with that guy's mind.
Yeah, I would like to see this guy play like Cards Against Humanity. You know, something really extreme. But I enjoyed it, PJ, and I think we should do this game when we have more folks on one day.
Yes.
You know, get a whole whack pack with us.
Yes,
I agree. Who's really the sickest, and then we'll vote at the end who's the sickest person.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We should do that. There's a ton of these questions. We could take one at the end of every time we have a guest, and
yeah.
I think that's a good idea. And I think some of our previous guests would be great at this. I definitely think we've had some folks on that would really.
And yeah, a lot of our friends are sick people, so
yeah.
So we should have our wives on one day too.
Yeah.
Just, see what kind of sickos we married. You know what I mean? So it was really crazy.
Well, but then they get to find out what kind of sickos they married. So I don't. Well, anyway, I don't have anything else for today's episode. I don't know if you do.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you have the cool kids table, and maybe say this is the freak table. So, so you know where to find us freaks. The same time, same table.
Make good choices. Have a good one, kids.
Boys and girls, lunchtime is over. Please visit PJ and Mike's website, coolkidslunchtable.podbean.com for more information. Follow the boys on all social media apps. Just search Cool Kids Lunch Table Podcast. Now get to class before you get detention.